going to let this play for a minute. Go ahead.
We need a remix version.
I'll tell you why in a second. Keep going. Nice. Hey, welcome into the Ron Ross Radio Show podcast for Tuesday. I say day, and it's August 6th. Now, the reason we listen to that whole thing is because it's my brother Greg's birthday. Yay!
Hey,
and he wrote
how about that? Woohoo!
Wrote and played the Ron Ross Radio Show podcast theme in this here studio, actually, and I produced it. And he was playing, so he had written a different one, and then we kind of jumbled it up, and we moved this section to the front section and this and that into and then that's how we came up with this. But it's his birthday today, so 51 years old today. Greg,
Happy birthday, Gregor.
Right, and he's a teacher. He teaches guitar, but he also teaches freshman world history at St. John's. What is it? College prep? I don't know. They keep changing the name of the school. He's been there for a while, and I'm like, dude, are you ready to go back? Because this is August. Is the by the way, welcome into August. Woohoo! Here we go. Wow, August already.
Really? It's
back to school month.
Crud.
And I saw, who was it in California? My nephew's fiance's daughter birthday of 6th grade was yesterday. I'm like, wait a minute, they're back to school August 5th? Is that correct?
No.
In California?
Is it?
Jennifer Scott? No, where are you? Weigh in California. You gotta tell us. You're the sole representative of the entire state of California. You have to let us know what's going on.
Come on, man.
With the school system. But I mean, I always hated going back in now my birthday is September 8th, and so and every now and then my birthday would be the first day of school.
Oh.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm sharing to my socials right now.
Okay. I was wondering what's going on.
What I'm doing? Yeah. I know. That was it.
Okay, good.
You do the same, everyone.
Well, welcome into the Ron Ross Radio Show podcast. I didn't say hi. I'm Ron, and that dude over there is John Yaglensky, my current partner in crime and the executive producer of the show. And actually, none of this would be happening were it not for he. All right, Taylor Elizabeth just posted on our Facebook page. If you're watching us live on Facebook, thank you. If you're watching us live on YouTube, thank you. Hit that subscribe button and the like button and the follows and all the things, please. Appreciate that. And if you're listening to us, then I'll describe it to you. Taylor sent us a comment on Facebook. It says, back to school September 3rd in Ontario, Canada. Well, there you go. Okay. All right, that's about right. Now, and let's see. So Labor Day. Well, that's Labor Day. Is there a Labor Day in? Well, see, I don't know. Is there a Labor Day in Canada? I'm flaunting my ignorance now. Isn't that nice? Flaunting my ignorance.
I don't know. I'm looking it up. Yes, there is.
Okay.
It's the public holiday on the first Monday of September.
All right. So it's the same time. So yes. Thank you, Taylor. Taylor replied, yes, there is.
Yes.
We have a little delay there. Thank you, Taylor. Appreciate that. Now you're the sole representative of the entire province of Ontario. The province? Is it territory? I don't know.
Yeah.
She's going to come back and answer that as well.
I'm sure.
I hope so. I love being interactive and talking with you live. As soon as I figure out some way to get phone calls up and running, we're going to have a blast.
Okay.
All right, Jim posted next Wednesday, 8/14 in the Houston area.
That's pretty soon.
Back to school. That's just, I wasn't ready for the back to school show.
That's
going to be in September.
No, it should be illegal. You shouldn't be allowed to do that before Labor Day.
That's just nuts, man.
Do you remember when Maryland tried to do that and it hurt the actual tourism, like down at the shore, Downey Shore?
And they pushed it
back.
Tried to
Yeah,
go before Labor Day.
exactly. And they
Yeah.
switched it back. They made it a thing. Like, nope, can't do that.
They still do. It's a little. I mean, gosh, if you play like if you play football, you're already back in
Mhm.
practice and 2-a-days and
Right.
all that
Well,
stuff
yeah.
in the August heat.
Yeah.
I feel so sorry for those boys and girls who are out there
Mhm.
practicing and doing all the.
Stay hydrated.
It's yeah, exactly. Oh, don't get me started.
I think it also. I
Don't
think
get me started on football practice and hydration. That's the reason I quit football.
you got to have
I
some
was
quality
H2O. I played. Taylor said, woohoo, it's a province. Okay, thank you. I thought it was a province. All right. Celeste says 8/12 in Florida, but they get out in May after Labor Day in New York and New Jersey. Okay. Well, there you go.
Well, there
Thank
you
you, Celeste. I appreciate that. I don't know what Maryland is. Maryland is, it's like it's the last week in August, I think. It's the last week in August, and then you're off on Labor Day. So you have a 3-day weekend.
I thought they changed it to be after the holiday. And the reason was also, besides the, and I could be wrong, somebody can look this up.
Hang
but
on.
it was besides the tourism, that also it was the labor market. Like if you had high school kids working down at the shore or something like that, then you were sending them back before all the tourists were done tourism.
Okay, here you go. Frederick County Public Schools, first day, a calendar 2024.
Okay.
All right, let's open
Stand
it.
by. Stand by.
Standing by, everybody. Red leader standing by.
Wow.
Gold leader standing by.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to play some.
Oh my goodness. Is this oh, that's athletic starting dates.
Yeah.
Wednesday, August 14th. Okay, so they're not in practice yet. Wow, I was about to get really angry.
And
hang on, what am I doing? It's a calendar handbook. What am I doing? Where's the first
know.
day of school?
I don't know. Maybe
Where's the first day of school? Huh? Oh, here's a calendar. I actually can click on a calendar. Here you go.
Okay, there we go. So really, is it that hard?
Why is it not opening up? Oh my goodness! Yeah, school year.
Enjoy the smooth
No, I don't want
Carlton. While Ron is looking up the.
I want the first day
of school for Maryland.
First day of school in Frederick County.
Yeah, well, still Maryland would be fine. Debbie says 8/27 in the Raleigh, North Carolina. Again, not digging that, not feeling it.
8/27. Well, that's a little better. It's better than still. It's better than yesterday.
Like we go back to school only to have a day off.
First day of school.
Yeah,
Frederick County.
What?
It's August 21st. Wednesday, August 21st.
Make any sense?
Ew, Wednesday, August 21st.
And
then you're back for a week and a half, and then you're off on a 3-day weekend for Labor Day.
I thought they outlawed this, but new governor since.
Wow. No, I don't think the governor changed that. That's Frederick County. That's not, I think the counties get to change.
Statewide that they were.
I don't.
Anyway, whatever.
Wow. All right. Well, I've already blown past 10 minutes and didn't get to talk what I wanted to talk about first, and that was Tropical Storm Debbie, and it's so funny because we have a friend, John and I have a friend named Debbie, and she winters in Florida and she summers up here in Maryland. She's from the area, and I keep hearing that Debbie was going to slam into Florida. I'm like, really? Because I think she's here.
Pretty much.
But we were talking about oh, wait a minute. We have another post. Put it back, please. Joanne says, good morning from rainy Boston. Some schools in Massachusetts start the week before Labor Day and some start after. Confusing at all. All right. Thank you, Joanne. Appreciate that. Post it on our Facebook page. You can also post on our YouTube if you like. Anyway, John, in the Low Country, he's Hilton Head Island, just literally feet off the coast of South Carolina, and he disappeared, and now he's back. But you had it was a tropical storm when it blew through, John.
Well, it hit it just in case anybody hasn't been following this, because you find that people on the East Coast tend to pay a lot more attention to this stuff than people elsewhere.
Yeah.
Debbie made hurricane landfall in what they call the Big Bend. The Big Bend
of Florida.
Florida. Yeah. Right. And
up by the Panhandle.
Yeah. Right? Proceeded to slow down and wander and meander across the state and then through some of Georgia. And essentially is there. Right.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Do you see the point kind of?
Where are you, John?
Okay, so hold on.
Why
Take
don't you
big screen of John.
get up.
Let's do
Nope.
this.
Sorry.
There we
There
go.
you go. All right.
Okay,
Okay.
see, this is
Are
tough.
you the dot right there?
That's me.
That's you?
Yeah,
Oh,
that dot.
so you're in the middle of it right now.
I mean, sort
This
of.
is kind of
The eye is kind of
well, the eye's broken up, but
all around us.
it's still an organized storm. It's
It
a
is.
disorganized storm.
And do you see? I feel like I'm doing the weather forecast person.
Well,
thing.
you are. Oh, I know. That's what okay.
Like, because I'm looking at this screen, but pointing to this screen.
Okay.
So up here,
Yeah.
this was the big problem yesterday.
Oh, okay. So you felt that last night.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Debbie it slowed down, and it's supposed right now it's kind of not quite over top of us, but it's moving kind of sideways and is going to go out to sea. And then
your trees aren't blowing behind you. So is it, are you
north?
calm?
Well, that's because we're in this
You're calm. Okay.
sort of lull air. Boy, this is more difficult than I thought it would be.
Well, you're supposed to be looking at the monitor on the side.
Okay, well, I'm looking.
So it looks like you're looking at the map. You can turn around and look at the map, John. We can see, look at your head. There you go.
Start squealing in my headphones that I chose to wear today.
Nobody.
Anyway, so we're in the lull, kind of in the middle, sort of almost in the eye. And those who know hurricanes, and I've become somewhat of a armchair meteorologist.
Sure. Yeah.
It basically out to the northeast, that side, that slice tends to be the most active.
Right.
And so last night, it literally, it started raining, and I don't think I've ever seen rain like I saw yesterday.
Yeah.
Supposedly some areas of across the bridge, Bluffton, clocked in at between 10 and 12 inches. I saw some official National Weather Service stuff at about 8. We have a what do they call it? Is it a hydrometer in our backyard? Basically we have a personal weather station.
A hydrometer?
Yeah, I don't know what it's.
I don't know.
Hydrometer.
I don't know. Hydrometer.
That measures the water, the rainfall amount and things like that. So anyway, at one point, we were up to like 5+ inches in an area of my yard that is actually sheltered by trees a little bit. Like my positioning of my rain catching device is not exactly great. Jim says rain gauge.
By the way, it's called a rain gauge. By the way, if you're just listening to the podcast, I should point out that John has a live radar map of the hurricane or tropical storm or Debbie.
Tropical storm right now.
Is it still called Debbie? It's still called Debbie.
I
behind
think
him,
storm,
up on the wall. So it's kind of like a weather map, and so he's been pointing to various areas of interest. So
right now, I mean, basically the biggest thing is areas like Savannah and Charleston. This is the low country. So it literally means everything is not very far above sea level. Savannah and Charleston traditionally flood like crazy, even with, 3 or 4 inches of rain, not 10, 12, 20 inches of rain. Okay. So it's a bit of a mess here. We didn't have, just to give you the report in Hilton Head Island, we didn't have the storm surge here. We didn't have the ocean in our backyard, which sometimes happens. We've seen it come about halfway up our backyard before.
Wow.
It's kind of crazy. Gets a little nerve wracking, but we did have some flooding in our driveway in the front, which rose to such a level that in the middle of the storm, while it was coming down like cats and dogs, literally, I was waiting for cats to just start falling and dogs to start falling. We actually got out there with shovels and dug a trench from the front of our house, in between us and our neighbors, all the way out to the as we call it, the swamp, but is known as the salt marsh, to drain water out.
Okay.
Because it was rising to the point.
Okay.
It was rising to the point where it was about ready to start going into my neighbor's garage.
Wow. Okay. All right.
For whatever reason, our side is a little bit higher, but it was just sitting there. It kept rising. So we're out in the pouring rain, like digging.
So you didn't do the sandbags or anything like that? You didn't go get sandbags over at
No, I
Lowe's
mean,
or
typically
Home
we
Depot?
haven't had this kind of problem, and I guess we underestimated the fact that, when you get 5 to 8 inches worth of rain in the afternoon and 5 to 8 inches worth of rain at night, that's a lot of rain.
That's a lot of rain.
Yeah. So we just didn't expect it to be quite as bad as it is. And now we're into this period where they're saying, maybe anywhere from an inch to 2 every 6 hours, which is manageable. That's okay. We can do an inch to 2 every 6 hours. 5 to 8 inches in a 6-hour period tends to be nutty. Oh, and that's the other thing. Phone's been like just bing, 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 bing. And the weather radio back here that's sitting on my desk, I have a Midland weather radio. By the way, if you don't have one of these and you live in a weather prone area, get one. They're cheap. They're great, except for the fact that they will wake you up.
Is that a National Weather Service?
Yeah, it's a National Weather Service.
Okay. So it's run by NOAA
channels, and it goes. I wouldn't even be surprised if it goes off at some point while we're doing the show. But,
an alarm.
Oh, it's loud. So
well, we're glad you're okay, John.
Going off all last night. So John did not get much sleep. Speaking in the third person.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm a little tired today.
Yeah.
I will say that. Yeah. And sore from digging.
I bet. Yes. It's not an exercise you're used to, I bet.
Right.
That's just nuts, John.
Right.
Well, we're all glad that you're it's supposed to wake you up, silly. Napoleon just posted.
Yes.
Well, yeah. The alarm is to let you know that something is happening.
Yeah, something bad.
And, good. I'm glad you're all right though, John. I mean, and we almost rescheduled the whole thing. That's why I inquired this morning to see how you were.
Yeah.
It wasn't to see if we were going to have a podcast. I honestly just wanted to see how you were.
Right.
And then you said, "Yeah, I'll see you at 10:45." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I guess we're on.
No, I mean, so and just to be clear, it's not over yet.
No, okay, I know. I'm looking at the map. I understand.
Over here. So we're going to get rain today, but the hope is that the amount of rain that we're getting today and tomorrow and it into Thursday and it basically is supposed to hang around at least the effects of it through Friday. Friday. It's a week worth of rain, man.
Yeah. That's bad. That is, and the fact that it slowed down just makes it much, much worse.
Well, that's it. It just is stalled. It's going to stall off the coast. It's normally where these things are in and out.
They blow through.
It's just sitting.
Not now. Yeah. And I don't know. There's my favorite meteorologist, greatest wife ever, and I. We loved him. He was on Fox 5 for about 10 minutes. I watched him in the morning. Young kid. And he always wanted to be a meteorologist, and that's why he went to school, and he did science fair projects on and all that stuff. His name, Matthew Capucci.
Okay.
And in addition to being on Fox 5 here in Washington, D.C., he was also on My Radar, which is an app.
Yeah, it's
so I have that on my phone, and I watch it all the time. And he was a storm chaser. And then next thing we know, we're like, oh, his contract wasn't renewed at Fox 5. I wonder why. But now you can enjoy him on My Radar. I highly recommend him because he doesn't do just the weather. He explains everything. He explains downdrafts and updrafts and how weather is happening on this level, but it's going on a different direction on this level and all the things before it reaches you on the ground. And he explains everything and he knows exactly what he's talking about. He does like to do, he's a storm chaser, so I'm sure he'd love the movie Twisters. I haven't seen anything about that. But on alerts, and he was on my phone because it just, bloop, the alarm came on, and there he was doing a report for My Radar because I had the banners, I had the alarms ready to go, and he was doing all the reports about Debbie. So that's Matthew Capucci. Look for him.
I mean, you literally could be feeling the effects of Debbie towards the end of the week. It looked like it was headed towards the DC metro area.
You know what? There was a funny you should say that. It was in our area, I think, in the Frederick County area. And if you don't know anything about where I am, I'm in central Maryland, central if you look at a map of Maryland, I'm right in the county that's just almost northwest, almost directly above Washington, D.C., and due west of Baltimore. And the and there was some sort of info that was going around. I looked at it, but I didn't really pay attention to it until I saw them going, look, we're not going to have torrential downpours and flooding from Debbie in the Maryland area. That's somebody just trying to stir up a bunch of hysteria. But we'll probably get some rain, but it's not going to be that bad as I recall. Well, I was camping one time. Greatest wife ever and I, we were camping one time at Rocky Gap, which is out in Western Maryland. And we had one of the bands of a hurricane that came through. I forget which one it was. Greatest wife ever would be able to tell me. And it was one of the bands, okay? Because the bands that come out, they swirl out of a hurricane. So we were nowhere near the eye. The eye was probably, I don't know, 70, 80 miles away. But we were still getting the band. And like you said, I've never seen rain like that. And we were camping. We were in tents. And I've never seen rain like that. Like I've been in thunderstorms where, it downpours for, 5 minutes and it's really bad. Never an extended period of a half hour, 45 minutes, an hour, and continuous, just a deluge.
Yeah.
Of rain. I've never seen anything like that. It was just crazy. So I'm sorry. I'm glad you're okay.
Yep.
And I hope everybody in the area who's in the affected areas, if you're jamming on the podcast, we appreciate that. And I hope everybody is okay. Did you consider leaving the area?
No.
Okay.
Not for a moment.
Because you knew that it was going to be, you'd be able to literally weather the storm.
Yeah, we did. So,
okay. All right.
We're good. Yeah, everything was fine. I mean,
good.
Unlike the past, we have evacuated when things have gotten a little hairy.
You have before. Okay.
Yeah, we've evacuated once before.
Okay, now here's the $8 billion question, because John used to live in the area. He met his wife here and raised 2 sons here in this area, and then said, you know what?
In Maryland,
I've had it with DC traffic. I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna live and work in Hilton Head, South Carolina, and that's what.
Yep.
Did. What? And now I already know the answer, but I'm going to throw it at you anyway because of all the storms and all of that that's happening. Worth it? Totally worth it.
Yeah, still worth it.
Totally worth it. Okay, I'm just asking. No,
I mean it's quite a nuisance. I will say that. It's been more active than I would like it to be.
Yeah.
But
probably. But
we're going through a cycle here, but whatever.
I'm glad you're okay.
Thank you, sir.
Now
we're good.
The subtitle of this podcast for many weeks at time was squirrel, because I would go off on tangents and not really stay on the point, and we'd have a tangent alert. But I digress.
Right.
Well, we literally have a family of squirrels living in, and you can see their nests in our giant pine tree that's going to have to come down because it's dead. I'm going to have to take pictures of it, but it's at least, I'm really bad judge of height, but it's a very tall pine tree.
Very tall. Is it bigger than your house?
It's bigger than my house.
Okay.
So it's going to have, and I live in a townhouse. So
more than probably 25, 30 feet tall, probably.
Yeah. It's big. And we watched it. One part of it died, and then you watched it as it moved across and over the last 2 or 3 weeks until all the little needles turned brown. And so, but anyway, that's what the squirrels. So we're gonna have that removed, and we're gonna have to price to get a tree removal because you can't chop it down because it could, if it fell backwards, it could hit the house behind us, it could hit our house, it could hit our neighbor's house.
Yeah.
And so it's really gonna have to be get professionals to go up, and they have to take it down in sections before they're able to.
Exactly.
So we're going to see cha-ching how much that is going to cost. Luckily, I know an arborist, and I think I would love for him to take a look at it and just give me and recommend some people. I don't want him to do it, but recommend some people if he knows anybody or companies in the area. Anyway,
having done that around here, by the way.
Have you?
We took down 3 trees in
goodness.
in our other location, and They ran typically between $800 and $1,200 to take down.
Okay, because I had my lawn guy yesterday say, "Oh, that's 2,500 to $3,000."
Well, it might be now.
And he said, but he said you could get them if they could use it for timber. It
Right.
would they could sell it for timber or mill it, and that might offset some of the cost. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, this was but Napu is asking a great question. Yeah, but how long ago, John? So yeah, it was before we moved into this spot on the island. So more than 5 years ago.
No, 5 years ago.
Yeah, 5 or 6 years ago.
So the yeah, well, good Lord, prices have gone up. Shocker.
Everything's doubled. So your guy may be right.
Might be right.
Yeah, hate to say that.
All right. Well,
yeah.
We hope a storm doesn't blow through before then.
Yeah,
and take it down.
Yeah.
But these squirrels. Now his wife Ever and I, we get up in the morning. I know I digress. Talking about the dead tree. We go out and we make a pot of Tim Hortons coffee. Now we're hooked. Now I'll
Timbo.
We get it at Walmart and the grocery store in the Walmart, and we get the big bag of Tim Hortons coffee, and so we'll have a cup, and then we go out onto the deck, and we have some deck furniture, and it's a two-level deck.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of the tree coverage on one side, so the rest of the neighborhood's basically blocked out. And we can see the giant tree, and we see the squirrels. The squirrels are very active, so we bring peanuts outside, and we place them all around. We have a coffee table, and so we have a squirrel. If you saw the Johnny Depp version of Willy Wonka, Daddy, I want a squirrel. We have a squirrel now who's getting rather bold. Now, I know the Greatest Wife Ever's goal is to get him or her to take the nut out of her hand.
Right.
She's getting close. It's getting ever so close. Apparently, our neighbor is able to feed the squirrels by hand. And they're fine with that. But the squirrel is getting closer. We'll place it, on this chair, and it'll come down and get the chair, and come down and grab the nut, and then scamper away. Now it's coming down and grabbing the nut and looking at it and staying there, and then just kind of walking away, saunters away.
Right.
And then most recently, this morning, grabbed the nut and looked at it, and then took like 2 steps away and then ate it there with us while we were, just kind of hanging out. Gonna have a little breakfast with you. Everything is good. Went over to the bird bath, got a little drink of water, and which, by the way, is the cutest thing ever to watch.
Taking a little bath.
I'm just drinking the water.
That's fine.
And then he's got an itch, and that back leg goes 1,000 miles. Yeah, he's scratching whatever's going on this poor squirrel. So that is our goal now, is to get the squirrel to eat or at least take the nut out of the hand. And it's so funny to listen to the Greatest Wife Ever talk. I will love you. I'll just love you. I'm not going to hurt you. And she just keeps talking to the squirrel, which we haven't named yet. For a while, I kept calling them numb nuts, but now I don't know.
That's
mean. Could be Rocky.
Yeah, there you go.
Rocky the flying squirrel.
Yeah.
I don't know. So we'll see. But it's getting close, getting closer and closer and closer. And the cats inside are just looking at us like,
yeah, like you're befriending the squirrels.
You can pet me anytime, dude. You can just come in. You have a wild animal right here, and I'm all furry, and you can pet me.
Oh, you're allowing the squirrel in on its territory. That's not good.
They like to. Oh, I know. I was reading that about cats yesterday.
Own the yard.
That's right. Cats. Right? Well, it's why they stare out. They view.
We apparently saw a TikTok video or something. Yeah.
Everything they see.
Right.
Is theirs, is their territory. And that's why they spend hours looking out the window just to make sure there are no threats and everything's cool.
Right.
And they bask in the sunshine to raise their. You saw the same thing. Okay, to raise their body temperature. Okay,
yes,
all right.
Yeah, we saw the same thing.
Well, you know what? It could be BS.
It could be BS. I don't know, but
I don't know either.
I like the explanation.
I've also been told that when the cat narrows its eyes, it doesn't close them all the way. It doesn't. It's not necessarily winking. That's their love language. They're telling you that they love you.
Oh,
Just I don't know if it's true.
We like that anyway, so I'd like to believe it.
Our cats are getting very vocal now. They just talk back to you. When I told you that we have Linus, who is kind of like our Edward G. Robinson cat. I don't know what happened, but it's like,
Linus too.
Huh?
I didn't know you had a Linus too.
Yeah, we have a Linus. We have a Margot. Margot and Todd. Why is the carpet on wet, Todd? I don't know. Margot.
No, Margot. Right.
Margot and Todd. And then their kitten was there were two. We lost one. It's a horrible, tragic story, which I will not relate here. It was very upsetting. And then but Linus is still with us. Big furry cat. Big cat. Big guy. And he's just vocal. He's just I'm telling you,
run over here. See,
he's our Edward G. Robinson cat. See, pet me. He is also, when we give the treats in the morning, he is because we sit down. Okay, a morning ritual. You get up. Lately, though, we've been closing the bedroom door and not letting the cats in because they are rude. For some reason, Todd thinks that 3:30 in the morning is the time for treats. It's time to get up, but that's just not the case. And lately we've been racing upstairs. We'll be watching something on TV. All right, you want to go upstairs? All right, let's go upstairs. So I have to go. I have to take my medicine, my heart meds, and then I have to. So the Great Swift Ever's already raced upstairs. Go upstairs. Close the door. Okay. And then I distract them because I give them dry food before we go upstairs to last them through the night. And then I race upstairs. We go in and close the door, and no cats in the bedroom. It's crazy. It's nuts. I know.
What?
I know. It is. We're sleeping through the night.
It's like vacation.
I know. My blinds aren't getting pawed at, or it is. It's like a vacation.
Clunk, 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 clunk.
Well, we used to have that. Todd doesn't do that anymore. He's just like, all right, fine, whatever. And he'll sleep here. He'll sleep in my office. Okay. And Iggy is the one who's like the most offended by the whole thing because she likes to sleep and she sleeps right between us, right between our heads. Or she's got to put a paw or something all over the greatest wife ever. She's got to drape herself over her. I don't even know how greatest wife ever sleeps with eggs just all over the top of her.
Yeah.
And wow, how did I get on that topic? What were we talking about? I don't know. There's cats.
It was
we have cats. Oh, that's Linus. Yeah, Linus is right.
Linus.
Yeah. The cats are watching the squirrels outside. There you go. That's where I got. That's how I got there. Dun, dun, dun. So, John.
Yeah.
I have to ask you now, being from the Philly area, and then you went to school in Ohio because it's high in the middle and round on both ends. Ohio.
Correct.
And then lived most of your adult life in the Maryland area. And but I think you could still get crabs. Do you eat hard crabs? Do you sit down and eat crabs like Marylanders do?
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
I haven't found a place down here to get them. Like I said, I think I've said on a previous podcast, there's a rumor that one of the seafood places here has crabs, and if you ask them, they will steam them and use the Old Bay or the other.
Joe. Yeah, Joe.
Yeah.
Right.
But since we came down here, no, have not had real in shell blue crabs. We do have a great place that does crab cake. Chef is from Maryland. It's authentic. It's legit. When you come here, we'll go get it.
Okay. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And we'll film it, and we'll get Ron's reaction to Hudson's crab cake. By the way, if you are ever in Hilton Head Island, go to Hudson's and get the crab cake. It's good. It's really good.
Okay, good. Because we went to Greatest Wife Ever was like, hey, I want to let's go. What do you want to do? It was Sunday. Like, what do you want to do? We had a lost day.
Crabs.
And we like to go. And she's like, I definitely want. And we talked to another friend. And we're like, hey, let's go get some crabs. So before that, we went to an antique store. We went antiquing again. Mm-hmm. And that's where I sent you that picture of the Peter Cetera album, because I was just like pawing through all the records. I almost
convinced it's mine.
I was this close close to buying the Paul McCartney Band on the Run. Because I don't have it on vinyl, believe it or not. I know I have it. I have the CD, and you can listen to it online. But I never had the vinyl LP. I had everything else. I have Wings at the Speed of Sound, and I have Venus and Mars, and all of those McCartney albums. But I did not have that one for some reason, which everyone considers like his Sgt. Pepper's. So I looked at it, and it was, what was it like? Was it $12? $12? The vinyl seemed to be in fairly good shape. It was fairly intact, and the poster was still in it.
Wow.
And I know. And I was looking at a lot of the Beatles records that they had. There were a lot of the people in their various stalls in this antique store, this giant place, as various stalls, and they had various Beatles albums, which I did not know.
That's how you ended up in the C's.
What?
You were in the B's,
right?
And then Cetera was right next door.
No, he was right in front. Actually, I had walked by it first, and I meant to go back, but then I got distracted because, and here's why I was talking about this: the Greatest Wife Ever found something that she was looking for. So she is now collecting. Wow. She's collecting what they call mid-century.
Oh boy,
which means the 50s.
Here we go.
And maybe before barware. All right, she likes glasses and stuff like that. But she was looking for the coveted penguin ice bucket.
Oh, okay.
It's a silver ice bucket, and it's got penguins on it. And apparently this is very highly sought after. And people are finding it at yard sales and estate sales and all that stuff. Penguin. And we rounded the corner. Here, look it up, and then put it up on the screen.
What is it?
Penguin ice bucket. It's a round silver thing. Penguin ice bucket. It's circa, I don't know, it might be 60s.
Oh goodness.
What? It's silver, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
1950s.
Yeah. So we found it. She found it.
I'm bringing it up.
You're gonna put it up? Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was very excited about this because I just heard her go. Oh, I just hear this, Ron. When we call each other in the store, by the way, we don't call each other by name. We just go Marco, and then the other person goes Polo. If you want to try to find them in the store, there it is. That's it. The coveted, yes, the penguin ice bucket. She just likes it. She just likes to look at it. And they were hard to find, but we actually found 3 of them in this place.
3.
The first one she found was in the best shape and actually the most inexpensive, which was a great find. So, but now I keep getting mired in the vinyl because now I'm trying to.
And I'm wrestling away from Cetera.
Totally walked away from
Ron.
What?
The ladies love Cetera. And if by default you love the ladies, then
the ladies love Cetera. 40 years ago, the ladies love Cetera, but I don't know.
Funniest commercial ever. Look up ladies love Cetera.
So I'm toying with the idea. See that right there is that is my stereo that I grew up with. That's a Sony stereo, right? And there you go. There's one speaker, and where's the other one? I don't know. The other one's behind that Oriole thing right there.
Oh, okay.
Baltimore Orioles and Ravens. That right there is Lisa Loeb, who's going to be our guest here on the podcast.
Right.
In a couple of weeks. It'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, by the way. But it'll still be on Tuesday. So that's Lisa Loeb. Anyway, so that I've been pulling out some of my albums and playing it. It's a little fast. So I think the belt shrunk a little bit. And now the speed's a little fast. But that's okay. They don't sound like chipmunks just yet. But it just seems like that song seems a little faster than I remember it. and it's pitched up half tone. So I'm toying with the idea of buying vinyl. I have to go find all my vinyl because we have decided on the theme for my birthday party. I'm turning 60 in September.
Okay.
And well, you got the invitation, John. It's it's going to be a Beatles birthday mania costume party. I was born in 1964, and that's when the Beatles came over to America. So it's going to be all Beatles, and we've already been looking up theme food, which is, it's going to be fun, I think. And you can come dressed, and Lisa is next week, the 13th. No? Is she the 13th? No, she's not the 13th. Hang on.
Right?
Is she right?
No.
Hold on. Let me look at my calendar now. 13th.
Yeah, it is the 13th.
You're right. No, it is the 13th. Yeah, no, I have it. Yeah, 13th.
Tuesday in the evening. It's going to be a after dark version of the Ron Ross.
After dark. You're right, Jim. Thanks for keeping me honest. Yeah, it is next week. Lisa Loeb's going to be next week. So
yes.
So anyway, Beatles theme. More on that in some time. I don't know if we're going to be playing music. I might just be playing recordings, but you can come dressed as a character from a song, a lyric from a song, or your favorite Beatle, if you'd like. So I was toying with the idea. I'm just going to throw it out here. I haven't decided whether I'm going to do this or not because I've been Ringo before. I've got the mop top wig and just wear a black suit with a skinny white tie. Easy, right? However, since the Beatles were on the Ed Sullivan Show, I'm thinking of putting grayscale makeup on, like black and white television. So I would be Ringo in black and white.
Don't do that.
What? Why not?
No.
That would be great. I would be. No, why? Really?
Yeah, don't do that.
Ah, boo.
Yeah.
Boo. That was always that, by the way. And I'm
might be a BG, maybe,
huh?
It's because of the remake of
absolutely sure.
I mean, it would be funny if you came as one of the BGs.
You can be Barry Gibb.
Could you be a Ruddle?
You can be a Ruddle. It's anything Beatle-esque.
Anything Beatle-esque.
Anything Beatle-esque. You could be Mean Mr. Mustard. You could be for the Mr. Kite. You could be one of the Hendersons. You could be
there you go.
We do have two friends who are Michelle and named Michelle, and I'm telling one of them, you just walk in, be yourself, and make sure you carry a bell. Michelle, my bell. Hi, Taylor. I happily accept the invitation to your birthday party.
Oh boy.
We're gonna have a great time. You know what? Maybe I'll just go Facebook Live and
there you go. That's what you ought to do
from the party and show you what's going on. So I'm excited about it, though. I didn't really lock into it until this week because I was just like, oh well, whatever. Because my birthday is on a Sunday, and but we're doing it Saturday night, and we'll see what happens. I don't know. Maybe we'll do karaoke. We might do trivia. Finish the lyric could be something, could be, almost like, I don't want to do name that tune, but of course I can't play. I'm going to be hosting.
True.
I've got to host. So yeah, but could be fun. Could be fun. You're going to be a BG. You're going to be what? You're going to be,
that would be funny.
It would be very funny. Or George Burns,
Robin or Morris or Barry.
Or Barry. Yeah, Robin or Morris. The Hendersons. The Hendersons will dance and sing as Mr. Kite flies through the ring. Don't be late. I get it. That's why they were called the Hendersons. Did you know that? And who was Peter Frampton's character?
I don't remember.
He was Billy Shears. Billy Shears. We are talking, of course, about the 1978 or 79 money grab known as Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, starring Peter Frampton and the Bee Gees singing Beatles songs. And there was the main romantic, what was her name? Sandy Farina played Strawberry Fields. Alice Cooper was in it. Steve Martin was in it. Who was he? Was he Maxwell Silverhammer, or was he? I think so. I don't know. It was Greatest Wife Ever. Loved that movie. She loved it. Well, she loved Peter Frampton, and so she loved the movie, and she loved the Beatles.
Yeah.
And and how could you not? And this was Robert Stigwood put this together after the Saturday Night Fever, and Robert Stigwood, RSO Records, and put it all together. Yes, Aerosmith was in it. Thank you very much. Greatest Wife Ever is listening to the podcast.
Yes.
Aerosmith sang their version of "Come Together," and Peter Frampton sang "The Long and Winding Road." He was very sad.
Hate to say the Aerosmith version of that song. I really don't like it.
I agree. And everybody
I hope I'm not offending Greatest Wife Ever on that one.
Everybody loves it. And I just know.
Largely one of the worst remakes I've ever heard. Sorry.
I agree. And I have to say, and I know he did it because they were friends, Elton John and John Lennon together.
Yeah.
Elton John told John Lennon, if you what did he say? Oh no, John Lennon, I forget what it was. It was a bet. But John Lennon had a number one song because Elton John was on it, Whatever Gets You Through the Night. And Elton John was singing harmony on that. And I think that's what it was. Okay. I think John Lennon let Elton John cover Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. I do not like.
No.
And that was a huge hit. If Elton John would sing with John Lennon on Whatever Gets You Through the Night or something like that. And then if it went number one, he would play a concert in Madison Square Garden. Anyway.
Yeah.
That was the thing. The whole point was the cover. I wasn't a big fan. Also from the soundtrack of Sgt. Pepper's was Earth, Wind, and Fire. Got to get you into my life. Which was,
I mean, I like Earth, Wind, and Fire, but
doing a Beatles song.
Yeah.
I can't think of any covers of Beatles songs that I really, really enjoyed. We just saw.
Man, I'm going to go out on a limb here. Hooters at I think Live Aid did Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, which I like what they did with it, and you can find it out there. It's like a mandolin driven kind of slow sort of version of it. Really good. But
I know U2 did Helter Skelter on the Rattle and Hum tour, and also I think in the movie. And
true. They did. Yeah.
So that's
not far between, I think.
You really have to do it right if you're gonna do a Beatles cover. And we just saw, what was the commercial? It was a television commercial last night during the Olympics, and it was "I Want to Hold Your Hand." Oh, for Uber Eats.
And was it the Beatles?
And it was the Beatles version of "I Want to Hold Your Hand." And I'm like, what? How does this? It's great. So Ever just said, how much did they pay for that? Because man,
the estate of Michael Jackson got paid.
Right. I think right. Because he snaked Paul McCartney on that. Yep. All right. Oh, you know what? Let's do the question of the day, and then John's got to get out of here.
I'd like to. Take
all right. Are you ready?
I think so.
Yeah. All right. Time to get the gray matter working. Fire out the synapses, engage the frontal lobe, form new neural networks. Utilize the cerebrum. As Pooh says, it's time to think. Dang, it's the dun. Question of the day. We're playing for pride, not prize. Are you ready? Here you go. If you're watching us live on Facebook or on YouTube, watch the bottom of your screen. This classic rock band was a platinum seller through the 70s and 80s, but didn't score a number one hit until 1998. Written by Diane Warren. Named the band. Bonus.
Bonus.
If you can name the hit.
All
right.
Okay.
This classic rock band was a platinum seller through the 70s and 80s, but didn't score a #1 hit until 1998, written by Diane Warren. Name the band. Bonus, pride not prize. If you can name the hit, put your answers down in the comment section if you'd like. And good luck. Oh my. So I've been going through all the Beatles stuff, all this Beatles trivia, and it's like there's a lot that I know and there's a lot that I don't know. I was reading about the recording of the White Album. Everybody thinks that Let It Be and all that stuff and Get Back and the rooftop concert, that was the breaking of the Beatles, but really it kind of started on the White Album because George Martin left, the producer, the man who turned the knobs and worked all the magic. He left and went on a sudden holiday, and Ringo quit the band for like 2 months, and they had to cajole him to come back and play. And George just said, "Yeah, I'm going to America." He went on a trip. I think he was at Haight-Ashbury, San Francisco, and then right, and everybody was just kind of doing their own thing.
Yeah.
And playing all the instruments, like back in the USSR, and was it Dear Prudence? The drums or Paul McCartney, and then they shared duties because Ringo wasn't there.
No.
And I know. So I was reading all this stuff about the Beatles. Anyway, let's go back to the question of the day.
What?
I got sidetracked. Squirrel.
Okay.
Daddy, I want a squirrel. This classic rock band was a platinum seller through the 70s and 80s, but didn't score a #1 hit until 1998, written by Diane Warren. Name the band. Bonus, pride not prize, if you can name the hit. By the way, notice that I put the parenthesis, or the quotation mark, not quotation, apostrophe in front of the 7 and not after the 0 to make it possessive 70s. No, the 19 is missing. That's why you have the apostrophe there. 70s and 80s. I wrote it correctly. Just saying. I want points for that. I had to do that for 90s on 9 the whole time. It was the apostrophe, then 90.
Congratulations.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Here we go. What are the answers we have?
All right. We have the first one to come in is a familiar face. It is
from anyone?
Hold on. I'm trying to.
What's going on, John?
I don't know. Hold on.
Technical difficulty?
Hold on.
We're running out of time.
I know.
Ow! Look who it is.
I know,
it's
right?
The greatest wife ever.
Right.
Her name is Jennifer, by the way, if you're not looking at the screen. And she said it was
relations of the Ron Ross Radio podcast are not eligible to win prize.
She's totally eligible.
Is she?
I did not discuss this with her at all.
Okay.
She knows this point. She knows the answer. The answer is Aerosmith. There you go.
Do we need to play a disclaimer at the top of the show?
No disclaimer. No disclaimer. She's allowed to play.
We used to, like, at radio stations, we used to bury the promotional disclaimer, like,
Oh, yeah. One winner per family for 30 days. Must be over 18. It's funny because I have been giving away like Maryland Lottery scratch-off tickets on the air on Key 103 right here. The most music.
With the
when I do the Ron Ross Ride Home. But they call for the question of the key question of the day, and I'm giving away a prize, and some kid answers. Oh, hold on.
Wait a minute.
That was in reference to the Sgt. Pepper movie.
I like your honesty.
Oh, I did see that earlier.
Then the actual pride goes to
who's the first one then? Jim.
Yeah,
Aerosmith. I don't want to miss a thing. There you go. All right.
And you got bonus pride.
Bonus pride, not prize. That's correct. Diane Warren, and from the movie Armageddon, which I've never seen.
Really? It was interesting.
I have zero interest on seeing that. It's Bruce Willis, right? Bruce Willis, Ben Affleck, Liv Tyler, right?
So, yeah.
I think Steven Tyler's daughter, and he sings the love song involving his daughter. I don't know.
I was trying to look up we'll have to do this for another day. The #1 songs written by Diane Warren.
Diane Warren. Oh, that's I did that when at I did that at when I was the program director of 90s on 9 and back in the day on Sirius XM. We had Mark McGrath of Sugar Ray. He had a show
Yep.
called The 120, and it was a theme show. And sometimes there was a secret theme. And one year it was a secret theme. We just played all the songs that he introduced, 8 songs that were huge hits, and you had to guess what the theme was. And the theme was they were all Diane Warren songs. She had so many. What's the one? Celine Dion. She's got a huge hit.
Rhythm of the Night by DeBarge.
Right.
Let's see. I Get Weak by Belinda Carlisle.
Oh, wow.
Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now by Starship.
What?
That's Diane Warren? I Don't Want to Live Without Your Love was where I thought you were going originally. Chicago, #1 song.
Ooh.
Well, If I Could Turn Back Time, Cher.
Oh, Cher. Whoa. If I could turn back now.
By Taylor Dane. If You Ask Me To by Patti LaBelle. I mean, all these songs. When I See You Smile by Bad English.
Wow, that's a Diane Warren song?
Yes. Unbreak My Heart by Toni Braxton.
Unbreak My Heart. I mean, Marylander, by the way, from Severn, Maryland.
How Do I Leave? How do I leave? Leanne Rimes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, How Do I Live Without You?
Yeah. How do I leave?
Leave.
Yeah, but I think listen to it.
Didn't Trisha Yearwood do that too?
Yeah.
Didn't she have a #1 song with it as well?
I Don't Want to Miss a Thing, of course, the one that we mentioned.
Right.
Yes. I'm looking up.
John, you're running out of time.
Yeah.
If you wanted to bolt early, I know it's 3 minutes and then we're
anyway. Those are the big ones. Those are the big ones.
Diane Warren, yeah, she's a hit machine. She wrote more hits than Burt Bacharach.
Yeah,
I think.
Who I love, by the way.
Actually, I'd have to take a look. I don't know, but yeah, wrote a bunch of great songs. Yes, Aerosmith never hit #1. Walk This Way, all of those big hits.
Yeah.
And here's another little trivia. Walk This Way, they actually got the title from the movie Young Frankenstein. When Marty Feldman answers the door, and he's Igor, and he goes, "Walk this way,
walk this way."
So Steven Tyler, Steven Tyler,
what a great!
That's where he got the title,
Frau Blücher. Mel Brooks. What a genius.
Roll in the hay. Roll. All right. So, and the reason I brought that up is because Steven Tyler announced this week that he has to retire because he's never going to bring his voice back. He had a problem last year, and through all the rehab and all the work, it's never going to come back. So they canceled the rest of their tour.
Good for him. At least he's not pulling a Bon Jovi.
Yeah. Okay. Was he not singing? Okay.
Well, he wasn't. Apparently he had he had some issues too, and decided to go back on tour, and had been touring. And boy, I have video from when he came to Savannah.
Yeah.
I had won the tickets, by the way, from none other than Sirius XM.
Did you really?
Yeah. For Savannah. Wow. I mean, this was about a year or two ago at the most. Oh,
how did you win them?
I got an email. They said, enter online or whatever for tickets to the Savannah show.
Yeah.
And I did. And I was probably the only one who entered. Who knows?
You were not the only one.
I don't know. I mean, it just seemed weird. Like I was like, I'm not going to win this.
Very, very interesting
about it. So anyway.
All right. Look, now we're overtime. Well, no, we're almost overtime. All right, so you got to go. So next week, the 13th, and thanks for Jim for keeping us honest. Yeah. Next week, the podcast is going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern, and that is 5 Pacific if you want to catch it live here on Facebook, and it's also going to be on our YouTube channel, and then I will post the link later on our Twitter or our X or whatever it's called.
I don't know. Yeah, we may have to do a GoFundMe to fund our X channel.
Our special guest who just has new music out, so we're going to talk to her about that and catch up with her about that. and talk to her about her recent reunion tour she did with her band 9 Stories from back in the day, and how she got started, and all of the things.
Her
And
eyewear.
and she's
Right.
she's got eyewear, she's
Yeah.
got a cameo, she's a voiceover artist. She's
Yeah.
doing all of the things, and her husband had a really cool job too, and now he's working for a record label, but we'll ask her about that as well. Lisa Loeb is going to be our guest next week here on the Ron Ross Radio Show podcast. All right. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. And please take care of yourselves and each other. Please be safe. Right, John?
Right. Be safe. Yeah, we got
Be safe,
a
John.
week here, so you know.
He's John Yaglenski. I'm Ron Ross. Love you, mean it. Bicycle.
I know.